Reptiles that we have here, because we had to get our full zoo permit to have the reptiles we have on site, we got licensed to keep other exotic species of animal, and our goal initially was only to be a green iguana sanctuary, and everything really snowballed from there. And so eventually mammals came along with it. We don't have a lot of them, but occasionally Game and Fish will tell us, hey, we've called every other zoo we know, we've called every other sanctuary we know, and they either don't have room for them, or a lot of times zoos won't want nocturnal mammals because they want animals they can advertise and will draw in big crowds. And with nocturnal animals like these, we have 2 ringtail cats in here, and most of our guests never see them because they don't come out until it starts getting dark. I like joking on tours, if you're from Arizona, you can see one anytime though, because they're hidden on the bottom corner of the Arizona driver's license or ID. But won't see them in here, but that's how we end up with our mammals. And I do have a couple that should be out over on this side to show you. All right, so this is everybody's favorite, Mr. Chow. He is a small-clawed river otter. An Asian small-clawed river otter. Hey, Mr. Chow. And sometimes he's my friend, sometimes he shows he's my friend by biting me, so I'm gonna see what his mood is today. You wanna come say hi? I'm gonna get you. And he might be smarter than me because he just made a run for the door. Chow, come on. And so we got Chow because there was a zoo that had a litter of otters. I'm not sure if that's the correct word for a group of baby otters, but they ended up having more than they were equipped to deal with. And so that was our vice president's hand that shot up and said that we would take one when that opportunity presented itself to us. And I'm hoping he'll let me introduce you to him. Chow. All right. I'll leave you alone then. Usually he'll let me pick him up, but if he's having an off day, I don't want to push it. Ready? Yeah. All right. So in this pen we have kinkajous, and kinkajous are kind of like a cross between a raccoon and a monkey. They're from South America. They live in the rainforest, and they are in the same family as raccoons. They're in carnivora, but they're almost entirely frutivores. They'll eat a little bit of protein here and there, but for the most part, plants make up their diet. And it looks like they came out and made a little bit of a mess, so I'll go in and clean up while I'm trying to get them out. But we've got 2 in here, Kiki and Howie. Kiki. And usually she'll kind of come out and see what I'm doing when I'm cleaning in here. Again, a lot of zookeeping work. If anybody out there watching this wants to be a zookeeper, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, but it is a lot of cleaning and kind of unglamorous work. So the fun fact about Runty is he's the first mammal that the sanctuary got, and he really attached to our vice president, Debbie. He absolutely loves her and really hates everybody else here. And because of that, she's really the only one who goes in and takes care of him. I'll kind of sneak in every now and then to clean up after him, But as soon as he comes out of the house, usually I try to book it out of there because he doesn't like me as much as he likes my boss. But he's one of the first raccoons here at the sanctuary. All right, so in this pen, another one of our mammal pens, I've got Yzma. She is a possum, and even though we do have possums in Arizona, she is not an Arizonan possum. She's a Virginia possum. So she's a little different than what would be here in the wild. But she is our big teddy bear. And she'll be waking up for dinner in about 30 minutes anyway. But I just wanted to show her off to you and those pretty eyes. Because once I give her dinner, she's going to want nothing to do with me and we'll just want her food.
It's awesome how much personality they have.
They really do. I think it's still my profile picture on Instagram right now, but when we first got our possums in, they don't stay nice unless you work with them every single day. And since their days are night times, our team here was taking turns taking our possum home every night. That way she'd be socialized. And I think it's still my profile picture on Instagram. I've got a picture with Yzma sitting on my shoulders while I play the banjo, and it brought out a lot of inner redneck, but they're a fun species to work with.
I didn't even put that.
All right, so we have some treats for the mammals. This will be Runty the raccoon's dinner. He gets a couple Nilla wafers with his mouse and fruit. And then this mouse will be going to Yzma the possum, but that's her favorite part, so I like to make her work for it and hide it under the rest of her food. And we have a hedgehog who gets that plate, and she gets a half a Nilla wafer. And these are the fruit salads for the kinkajous. And we've got one kinkajou away from the rest of the mammals. We'll feed here, and then we'll take the rest of those. So in here we've got a kinkajou named Cusco. And I'll see if he's interested in saying hi for a banana. Cusco, you awake? You got your favorite food?
He's like, nope.
He's like, I see a camera and I'm not used to that. It's not in my contract.
I can kind of see him.
I'll leave that one there for him. I'll end up leaving this bin on the floor,
Okay.
But as a way of making it a little bit more like their life in the wild, we don't leave it all in one place. We like to hide pieces of it really all over the enclosure. That way they have to come out and look for it. And Cusco is starting to lick the banana, and I'll probably bring that back in.
That's awesome.
I'll just hide a couple more of these in here. My biggest concern with these guys is that one day while I'm doing this, they're just gonna run right out past my shoulders and right into these palm trees.
They're pretty fast.
Yeah, they are really fast when they want to be. They're one that we have to be real careful what volunteers we let in, because if a volunteer hesitates at all when they start rushing towards the door or get scared, they could escape very easily. So they're one that we limit to only experienced volunteers and staff working with. But now we can go see the rest of those mammals in the backyard and give them their dinner. Pip.
So what does Pippa eat?
Pippa eats mostly hay and leafy greens. This morning I gave her a big kale salad. And here I've got some kale hiding under the hay that she doesn't like nearly as much. She's kind of huffing at me, giving me attitude. And then we have some Missouri animal chow biscuits in there, and that's what she's chewing on right now.
It's okay if I come around the corner?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's friendly and
She seems really peaceful.
she's a fairly new one here at the sanctuary. I don't actually know her backstory on why she came to us, but she's just really stolen all our hearts in the time she's been here. She came, I think, back in October.
Cool. Like, who are you?
It's like, what is that? It's okay. I'll just leave it there for you and get my hand out. That's Howie, the less friendly of the two. But he can be bought. Here you go, Howie.
I think it's funny that they have blankets.
Yeah, we tried giving them to all of our kinkajous, and they all like them except for those two. They throw them out of their house every night, so those are the only two that we don't give them to, but all the other kinkajous love them.
Do they ever, like, have them hang out with the other ones? Do you ever, or pretty much keep them in their cages?
They're pretty solitary. Each of them is kept in a pair, so no one's completely alone, but we don't have a big enough space to really spread them out and let them all cohabit in enclosure together. I'll find it. It's a African pygmy hedgehog, and so this specific species is only going to be eating small venomous snakes in the wild, but I feel like it's awfully fitting that he's in the room where we keep the rest of our venomous snakes too. Oops. But on top of our normal volunteers that we have coming out any number of days of the week, who are students who are working on making their transfer applications or applications for college look better, we also have volunteers that come and work here as part of Rise Arizona, which is a really cool organization that helps pair people up with opportunities, people who have various challenges, whether it be developmental challenges or just need a little extra help with working situations. This group Rise comes out and they bring out a team of anywhere from 4 to 5 individuals who will come out and help us with all sorts of things on the property, kind of on the property maintenance side of things. That way they can have an experience of working a job, they get to help a nonprofit out, and it's a cool experience for them because it's not just sitting and waiting tables in a restaurant or being stuck taking orders at a fast food place. They get to work with animals that they're passionate about and at least be in proximity to these animals and opportunities and get to exposure to things that they normally wouldn't be able to in a really otherwise competitive work situation where there might be 100 applications that come in for one full-time keeper position. It allows these people who are dealing with challenges the rest of us aren't dealing with to get a chance to work with these animals.